Hello and welcome to our next art lesson. This is going to be our warm-up. It's going to be video number 1 out of 2 videos. This is a art history and cultural appreciation lesson, and we are going to be learning about Egyptian art. So these are the materials you're going to need: a pencil and eraser. You're going to need your 2-sided drawing aid, a piece of warm-up paper right here, and your piece of black paper, construction paper. So I have Joey over here. We're sharing a drawing aid, so I'll give that over to you, Joe. His workstation's all ready to go. Hey, Joe. And it's very simple. He has everything he needs. And let's get started, okay? I am going to go over with you what we always go over. Do you want to read it, Joe, or do you want me to read them?
Oh, you can read it.
I'll read them? Okay. So I want you to keep these things in mind while we're doing our lesson today. Always try your best. If you get frustrated, take a deep breath, count to 10, take another deep breath. If you need to walk around, shake it out, go for it, and then come back, and I want you to persevere and try again. Third thing I want you to think about is that your artwork is going to be uniquely yours. It's going to be different than mine and everybody else's in the classroom. And the last thing is, art is not perfect. We're just trying our best, and our goal is to have a good time doing it. So let's get started. I am going to show you, I'm going to give you a preview of what we're going to do. So we are going to be creating Egyptian art in the likeness of how the Egyptians created art 5,000-6,000 years ago. So I'm going to show it to you big, and I'm just going to kind of talk to you guys about art back then and a little history around it, okay? So ancient civilization in Egypt was pretty advanced as far back as 4000 BC. So 4000 BC is about 6,000 years ago. When we think of Egypt, we think of a lot of different things. We think of pyramids and mummies and tombs and jewels. We might think of hieroglyphs and sphinxes. Those are things that pop into my head. Anything else that might pop into your head when you think about Egypt, Joey?
No.
Maybe camels? Sand, hot. So the ancient Egyptian culture shows us how we learn about a culture through art, because most of what we know about the Egyptians during that time period is through their art, through studying their art. The Egyptians believed in life after death. So they really believed that there was a life after the life on this earth. And a lot of people still believe in that. A lot of different religions believe in that. So what they did is they filled their tombs with everything they needed for their lives after death. So they literally brought all their possessions into where they were going to be buried. They didn't leave anything behind to their kiddos. Doesn't sound very, very great for the kids on the receiving end, huh? Maybe they left some stuff behind for their kids. So if you uncover an Egyptian tomb, things you might find in there would be little statues, jewelry, sculptured portraits, pottery, paintings, wall relief sculptures, gold, ivory, jewels, maybe even money. It's probably where the gold comes in. The pictures on the walls of the tombs were meant to help those after they passed away into their afterlife. So what you'll see a lot of times when you look at pictures in the tombs is you're going to see pictures that show how the Egyptians pictured their life after death. And the pictures show the dead traveling by boat to pass a terrible test of the gods, and they believed in many gods. After passing these tests, the person who passed away would be allowed to enter the world of the spirits in what is known as the Garden of Paradise, with running water and thick growing plants and of palms and sycamores, and it was very, very beautiful. So as I was saying, the Egyptians had many gods, and the way they showed images of gods was by having human bodies and animal heads. So I'm going to show you some examples of that. Throughout ancient Egyptian civilization, the figure was represented in the same way. So just an Egyptian figure, a man or a woman of Egypt, and that art was very formal and stylized. So here is my example right here, okay? This is what we are going to be doing. So the Egyptian artists back in those times, they presented the figure in a pretty unique way. They showed the face and the legs from the side view, and the torso and the eye from the front view. And this made the figure, they made the figures very proportionate, and often they were tall and slim and had wide shoulders. So we are going to be doing a portrait from pretty much the chest on up to the top of the head. We're going to be doing a very big close-up portrait. Oftentimes the figures were made clear by dark outlines. So I've used my black oil pastel to fill in the dark outlines. So I'm going to show you now some examples, and then we're going to get going. Okay. I have a ton here, so I'm just going to kind of show and go. So there was a very famous guy back in the day, Tutankhamen, and there are a bunch of paintings and drawings that you can find of him and what was found in his tomb. So this would have been him, and this was what was discovered in his tomb right here. It was made of gold and other precious gems and very valuable. It's very, very valuable. So here's the actual picture of it. And here is somebody who has created a drawing of it. This is it from the side. As I was showing you, we're going to be doing a side profile here. So here's an example of it from the side. And now I'm just going to show you some examples of what some art would look like. They're often looking off to the side profile view with broad shoulders. This one's looking to the right. And this one is a little bit different with the headpiece and a little bit more simple. So I thought I'd show you those two. And here is a real live photograph of a woman today posing as an Egyptian. Oh, that's pretty gorgeous, right? All those jewels and that real precise makeup. A lot of times you're going to see in the pictures that were on the tombs, you're going to see the arm up and the hand up, just in that position right here. And here's a collage of pictures here. And here are some real images from tombs right here. Right here, the arms are up, they're facing sideways. You're going to see, remember I was telling you about the body of a man, a human being, and the head of an animal. So that represents a god right there. Here is the passage that I was telling you guys about into the afterlife on the boat. Here is some real life photographs of relics that can be found in Egypt. Here is a statue that was uncovered in a tomb, right here. So these are thousands and thousands of years old. Here's hieroglyphs right here, tells a story. All those images tell a story. These are the Great Pyramids of Giza. This is the Giza Pyramid Complex right here. I've actually been there. And here's the Sphinx that is right in front of these pyramids in Cairo, Egypt. It's humongous. The Sphinx is ginormous. Mm-hmm. Here's an image of a mummy in a sarcophagus right here. So when you open up the lid, there would be a body wrapped as a mummy. And here is an image from the British Museum in London, in England. It's an exhibit of Egyptian mummies right here. So these are thousands of years old, and they've been very well preserved. If they would have been buried without being preserved, they would be completely decomposed and just dirt. This is an example of a temple of ancient Egypt. And here's some example of jewelry. Okay. And some more jewelry. And keep that in mind while you are thinking about what you're going to include for the person you're going to be drawing. And here is this is a wig, ornament, and crown of Princess Sit Hathor Yunit. So this was uncovered in a tomb, and a lot of times you're going to see a snake coming out of the front of the headdress. And it comes all the way up in the back. So let's get started. You ready, Joe?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So grab your warm-up paper. These, I'm going to ask that these be put on Google Classroom for you guys to look through for inspiration, and if you'd like. So today's lesson, we are going to focus on the head, the shoulders, the crowns, and the jewelry of Egyptian kings and queens, okay? We are going to present the head in a traditional Egyptian way with the profile and the eye facing front. And then we are going to add crowns, jewelry, collars, all that good stuff. And then to wrap it up in the second video, we are going to be using oil pastels to color everything in. So this is going to be, I'll show you one more time. This is kind of what you're going to be aiming for. Profile with the eye facing forward, broad shoulders, and really ornate jewelry and head coverings and just really bright and vibrant. So that's what we're aiming for, okay? So let's get our warm-up paper out. Did I not grab a warm-up paper? I thought I had one. You got yours?
Yep.
Did mine fall off the table? Seriously, where did it go? Okay, can you go grab me one, please? Thank you. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna have your warm-up paper, and we're just gonna practice a couple really simple things. So we're gonna practice some, we're gonna practice doing the face first with the eye, okay? So I'm gonna start with the eye, and the eye is an almond shape, okay? So we're just gonna sketch here. We're not gonna really be worried too much about erasing. We're just gonna sketch. So we're gonna just do an almond eye. So this is just our warm-up. So this is our almond eye. And then you can do like an outline of, it would be like eyeliner. And it can either close here, or if you'd like, it can go out. And then go ahead and include inside the eye. And then a lot of times the images show a very deep, like very bold eyebrows. So you can do just an eyebrow going over the eye, and that's kind of like a bent oval, it looks like to me, bent stretched out oval. Or you could do something like this, where you go along the, not just on the eyebrow, but the makeup goes out of the eyebrow. Do something like that. And then we're going to make sure that we're going to practice the profile now. So we're going to come up above the eyebrow, and we're going to come down like kind of a sloping to the nose. So this would be the forehead, and we're going to slope to the nose, and then we're going to bring the nose in. And then let's go ahead and practice some lips. So the way I kind of look at lips is it's like a sideways heart. So what you can do is you can come over here and just go like this and like this. It's like a sideways heart. And if you'd like, you can make the distinction between the upper and the lower lip. And then you can come around and attach your nose. It's your like little mustache area. And then from the lip, you can come down. You can come down and give this either king or queen a chin that comes in like that. It's not really proportionate, sorry. My chin really should be a little bit bigger. The nose was huge, right? So I can come down here and go like that. Now I can work on adding an ear. And when I think of an ear, I kind of think of a kidney bean, the side of a kidney bean. So you can come up and in like that. And then you can just kind of trace the inner part of the ear if you want. When you do yours, you can do it an ornate earring if you'd like. Then we're going to come down and kind of do the neck, and then the shoulders are going to come sweeping down. Okay, so I can get rid of that line, or I can make this line, you know, like coming up that way if I want. So that's pretty much doing the profile the side profile with the eye facing forward, big thick eyebrow, a distinct ear, some lips, the chin, and coming down to the chest, okay? So when we do ours, we are going to be adding all this really cool stuff, right? So look at your drawing aid. You can add all these different types of headdresses. You could even add something that's super ornate up here. If you decide you want to do something like this, you need to start further down your paper. If you decide to do something like this, further down your paper. We're going to focus, I know these give us the hands going up. If you want to create that challenge for yourself and you want to include an arm and a hand going up in your final piece, you need to really plan accordingly with your space. So here, I did it quite large, and there would have been no room for me to put an arm up and a hand up. If you decide that's what you want, just plan accordingly, okay? So this is Tutankhamen right here, the guy I was telling you about. Very, very famous. If you're going to try to do something like this, you're going to want to maybe focus on forward facing entirely in order to really get the effect. You can challenge yourself and try to make it go to the side as well, just like this one right here. If you look in your Google Classroom and if you want to pop this image up to help guide you, if you're looking for something more like that, you can go ahead and turn to this in the Google Classroom. Okay, and then other images back here. This one was it's mostly the hair of this queen, and then just like a hair ribbon here. Other fancy stuff, feathers, the snake coming up here. It's a very common thing. The snake. They're all, oh my gosh, almost all but one has the snake coming out of the forehead. All different things coming down the sides, coming down the back, all different ways of doing it. And then the jewelry on the chest coming down. So that is, here's the jewelry, right? And then here's some other images of jewelry that you can add. You can add earrings if you'd like. All right, so we did our little warm-up here. If you're feeling like you need to practice some things, like you want to practice the jewelry, or you want to practice the earrings, or you want to practice the headdress, then go for it. Flip it over, press the pause button, flip it over, and do another practice here. Sketch out how you want yours to look, and then press play and come on back. After you've done the practice that you feel you need, press play. When you're done with that, come on back, and we are going to go ahead and we're going to draw in and wrap up this video by drawing our image that we're going to be creating. Okay, so again, I'm going to show you mine. I know that since we're going to be using oil pastels, I need to make my details big. If I make them too tiny, it's going to be very challenging to color them in. So here, look at my snake's belly. I made the snake's belly quite large, and then I just used my black oil pastel to give it some definition. The jewelry that I put in this headdress, I decided to make them circles, and I just made them really big. Everything, all the details are wide and big, okay? So just concentrate on that while we're sketching this out. And then when we're all done with the video today, the next time when we come back for the second video, we are going to be working on using our oil pastels to color everything in. I keep losing things today. Where's my pencil? There it is. Dropped on the floor. Okay, so let's get started. I have my black piece of paper. And what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to have it. This is the warm-up. We're just, Joey goes, I thought we were just doing the warm-up. No, we're going to be drawing it. When we come back, second video is going to be coloring it in. Okay, so look at your warm-up, and we are going to start with the eye. So this is the spacing that I'm talking about. You need to plot out your spacing. How big do you want your figure to be? Are you going to be including the arm going up and the hand? Then you need to make everything a little bit smaller. Are you going to be just doing the head and the upper chest? Then you can make it a little bit bigger. I'm going to be working on a smaller black piece of paper so you can see mine. So mine's going to be smaller. You have a larger black piece of paper to work with. So I'm going to show you one last time for you to look at for spacing. Look where I started my eye. It's about 1/3 of the way down the paper. Then my head takes up about almost 2/3 of my paper, maybe a little bit less. And then my upper body takes up the rest of it. Okay, I was really careful that I gave myself enough room for the headdress and for the snake coming out. If you're planning on putting something on top of your headdress, then you need to make space for that. So I'd like everyone to get started. We're going to start with the eye. Do you want me to move the lighting around a little bit? You can't see that? Yeah. Okay, so we're going to start with the eye. It's an almond shape. And just sketch it lightly because if you feel like you're going to need to erase, it's best to have it light. I'm going to do it a little bit darker on mine so you can see mine. So here's my oval, and then I'm going to give the outline, the eyeliner that outlines the eye. Okay, then I'm going to give the inside of the eye shape. Okay, now I'm going to work the forehead down into the nose. So I need to leave myself enough room to do a headdress of some sort. So I'm going to come up and over the eye, sweep, and come in for the nose. Okay. Oh, you chose to have yours looking the opposite direction as mine. How interesting. We're the same. We both work with our right hand, but you chose to face the other way. Okay, now I'm going to do my heart shape for my mouth. Remember, if you need to erase at any time, you can. And I'm going to close that heart shape up, and I'm going to connect my nose to my mouth. And then I'm going to bring my chin out. Oh, gosh. It's quite large. I don't have very much room here. I want to include my, what do you call it? My upper body, my upper chest. So I'm going to come this and bring my chin in. Okay, so I have my eye, my nose, my lips, and my chin, and now I'm going to come down and do my, maybe I should have done the same paper as you so that you could see it better. I'm going to do my neck, and then I'm going to bring some wide shoulders out.
Okay, you can barely see it on the screen.
I know, it's light, but it's because it's black paper. So I have my eye, my nose, my lips, my chin, down to my neck, and my big, broad shoulders. Have your shoulders come all the way out. Big, broad shoulders. Similar here, Joe?
Okay.
Big, broad shoulders. Awesome. Okay, now I'm going to bring in my ear. It's like a kidney bean ear. Comes right next to my eye. Okay, now I'm going to decide what kind of headdress. Last time I did this one right here, right? I imitated that one. I'm going to try something different this time. What do you think you might try?
I don't know, just a circle over the head and then going.
Just like a circle, maybe like this? Okay. Yeah, a lot of different ideas. Okay, so I think I'm going to do something like, I keep getting off here. All right, so here's my headdress, and I'm gonna do some type of like a band connecting the top, the upper part of my forehead, maybe like this to the ear, and then I can have it come together here and maybe do some type of a swooping down. So everybody's working at their own pace, at their own speed here, designing it however you'd like. You can look at the examples here. You might want to do, kind of changing my mind a little bit. I think I want to open this up and bring it down over my shoulders. It's okay to change your mind. And then I'm going to be sure to add my shoulder over here, coming down. And then I'm going to add my like neck of jewelry here. And I'm just going to do some swooping. Okay. Then maybe I'll go ahead and add some design to my headdress. So maybe I will do something like, what do I want to do? Maybe I'll do like some, like Tutankhamen, like the stripes, like that. Maybe I'll do something like that, stripes in it. But you do whatever it is you'd like to do. So I can come up here, and I can go, I have to give myself enough room to make sure I can color in with my oil pastels nicely. If I get too close, that will be hard for me to color in. So I'm just going to kind of clean this up a little bit. All right. And I can keep coming down and keep swooping down. Like that. And then I really like how a lot of these kings and queens had snakes on the forehead. So I'm going to come up and I'm going to do a snake. So when I think of a snake, it kind of comes up and around like this. And then the head comes in like this. And then I'm going to do the belly of the snake. Like that. And then can go like that. You can give the snake an eye. Make it big enough in order to color in. How is everything for you going? You have your snake. Beautiful.
I think I'm done.
You think you're good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm going to encourage you to have your, but it's up to you. If you want to broaden your shoulders out and bring them out, you can, or you can keep it the way it is. Your eyes gorgeous, mouth beautiful. So we are going to stop the warm-up part and the drawing of our composition today with this video. When we come back, you're going to need to bring your drawing back and your oil pastels, your Ziploc bag of oil pastels. And then we're going to be using our oil pastels to color in the next video. So make sure your workstation is cleaned up, your drawing aid, and all of your paper materials are paper clip back together. Put it in a safe spot for video number 2, and we will see you for the next video. Thanks for joining us.